On this episode, your clients aren't donkeys. Hey everybody, this is the Quarter Show, and I was talking to Devin last week, in fact, and we were talking about a client, and it was like one of these things where we're waiting for them to do work in order for them to take action, right? In order for the deal to happen. So they have to do something and do part of the heavy lifting. For years, I've talked about not making your clients donkeys. Your prospects, your clients, they're not donkeys. And what I mean by that is don't make them carry the load. Don't put all the weight on them and have them carry the baggage and do all these different things. It's crazy. I grew up, but in college, in my early years when I was in college, and I worked at this one place called Sewell. And this one guy, Carl Sewell, great businessman, he wrote something called Customers for Life, a book called Customers for Life. And his mentor was this guy Stanley Marcus, the guy who started Neiman Marcus, and every year Stanley and his wife would come in, and Carl would deliver 2 brand new Cadillacs to them, and when you read the book Customers for Life, it's incredible the stories that Carl would do for his customers, like replace Cadillacs and just bend over backwards to do customer service and just remove everything off the plate of the customer, and truthfully that always stuck with me. That always really impinged on me. And I think about customer service, and I some of the companies that I love and that I'm loyal to, their customer service game is just on point, and I like to think that Richter is that way. I like to think that this company is that way. But when I hear a sales rep or I hear somebody that's forcing the customer to do work or to inconvenience the customer or to make something hard on them or to require some action for them in order for something to happen, I feel to that degree we've fallen away from customer service and we're making them donkeys and we're getting them to carry the load. But we're not, we need to be the Clydesdale, right? We need to be the workhorses. We have to take everything off their plate. And I think about analogies like St. Regis Hotel, and I think about an incredible concierge, like what that person would do. And if I was the concierge at St. Regis Hotel, I'd be removing everything from their plate. I would know the pattern of my customers, the pattern of my residents that stay there, and I would know the restaurants they like to go to. I would know the newspaper that they like to read. If I sent them to a restaurant, I would make sure that the Uber or the car or whatever is right there when they need to be picked up. I would shuffle them into the car, I'd make sure the bags are in the car. And when they got to the restaurant, I would keep their Amex on account. I would keep the customer's Amex on account. I'd call ahead at the restaurant, and I would make sure that they didn't have to pay. So by the time the bill was ready, it was like, okay, you're good to go, just leave. And I would make sure that was all set up. And when I translate that into Richter, and I think about what we would do or what you should do when you think about your customers, you want to remove every obstacle off your client's plate, off your prospect's plate. If you're trying to make a sale, this is certainly important. And you hear people say the ball's in their court and that kind of philosophy, and we talked about that on another show. But that's total BS, right? The ball is not in their court. They are not donkeys. Don't make them carry the load. You have to figure out and say, okay, how do I play this, and how do I get the work off their plate? If you're waiting for them to take action, waiting for them to do something, where you're making them do your job, any aspect of your job to get a deal done, then you're making them the donkey. And you just have to think about that and think, okay, how can I avoid that condition, and how can I do something where, how can I alleviate the situation? How can I work around them, or get this already serviced, or get this other part handled, or handle this and then circle back to my customer and say, that's already handled, don't worry about it. I got that handled out of the way. I talked to the finance director and got that sorted, and we're good here, and here you go, and all you gotta do, and this is signed off, and we're good to go. You wanna make their life as easy as can be, and the key word here is service. You need to be servicing them. Service. Figure out how to service your customers. Take care of them. Help them get what they need. Service the hell out of them. Right? Don't make them donkeys. Think about that statement. I know it sounds funny, but I'm serious. If you make them carry the bags and you stack them up with all the different stuff, that's a bad thing, right? That's going to create barriers and obstacles in sales. You have to remove that altogether. You have to figure out how can you sort of be the Clydesdale or be the donkey and take on everything on your shoulder. You take all the baggage off them, and you're going to find that in order to sell, or accomplish anything in business, by the way, to you entrepreneurs out there, entrepreneurs and sales, kind of one and the same thing in many cases, but you're going to find that life becomes a lot easier. And you're going to find if you don't do that, things really bog up. At the same time, it will help free up the flows and it will help increase your brand equity, right? If you start doing that all the time and you build a culture of that, you do it, everybody internally does it, your customers are going to shower you with affection, right? They're going to love you for it. They're going to think, wow, dealing with your organization, the service and everything about it is just better. Because the truth is, most people don't do it. Most people are lazy.
Yeah, and that's the kind of feedback that we do get at Richter regularly, is because we handled everything from start to finish. I hear about some agencies and they don't write a script, right? They have the client do some creative work on writing a script or something like that, and I find that kind of unfortunate. I mean, it shouldn't be that way. No. I mean, hey, keep doing it, guys. Keep not writing scripts. Keep
Please.
Not keep
encourage you.
That sounds awesome. That sounds great. We'll handle it. And that's the thing is with any client of mine, of course, I'm not just a salesperson. I'm your point of customer service. When you sign off, you're going to be in great hands. And I think I've had to field, in my time at Richter, in my 5 years, I've had to field maybe less than 5 customer service calls in production. Of my 500 clients, maybe 5 times have I had to field something. Because the team here handles everything from start to finish.
Yeah.
That's the kind of agency. So if you, whatever product or service you have, build out more so that, look, you got an iPhone, right? It doesn't come with an instruction manual. It doesn't come because everything's here. It's so simple to use. Yeah. There's no customer service line. You barely need something like that, right? You want to have it. You don't have to have a customer service line because everything is handled. Everything is just like they get the product, they can go and use it right away, and everything's fine.
Well, Apple's a great example of that, though, too. You look at the level of customer service at Apple, and I think a lot of us take it for granted. If there's Android people out there, I'm sure they're grinding their teeth right now. But the truth is that when you go to the Apple Store, it is fantastic, and you're going to get taken care of. And they just like, oh, okay, we'll replace it, and they get you a new phone or whatever. Generally speaking, the experience, even from a customer standpoint, has been phenomenal. So not only is the product phenomenal, but in my opinion, the customer service is phenomenal. The actual experience. I've never really had anything wrong or not get fixed when I go to the Apple Store, or whether it's a phone support or whatever. It's always been fantastic. And I think that drives your brand equity. I think that drives that's going to make sales that much easier. It's going to help you drive sales, and it's going to help that trust factor with the prospect or your clients, and they're going to trust you and know that, look, it's not just they get the best price with you, or it's just a price sale, or it's a product sale, or it's a service sale, or whatever. It's the whole thing. And it's that they know that you're going to take care of them completely, and that you're not going to treat them like a donkey. You're not going to put the weight on them and get them to do the work and they're going to have to, because a lot of people are going to balk, right? They're going to not move forward, and we get this because some clients have had bad experiences with other agencies, and so they balk because they're thinking the workload. They're like, I don't have the bandwidth for the workload. Why are they thinking that? They're thinking that because there's other agencies, when they sign on, they get a price or they get a whatever, but they know they're signing up for more work for themselves. But we don't do that here.
And that can really differentiate you. That's why you do want to take on everything. It's because it really can differentiate you. If you can get through to them the fact that it is so, and really convince them with the confidence needed.
Yeah.
Because we run into it regularly. It's like, they wonder how much work they're going to have to do and how many hours a week are we going to require of them. It's like, when I tell them, it's honestly like, my team's going to need about 20 minutes of your time per week for the next 4 to 6 weeks. It's not a believable statement.
Yeah.
It's a true statement.
Yeah, because they think it's going to be
believable.
I think the investment's going to be a lot more. So, think with that. Think with the idea.
I even had one time. I ordered a computer stand because I use dual monitors.
Yeah.
I ordered a computer stand. They sent me 2, and I'm like, I didn't pay for 2. I didn't order 2. I went and looked at my bill. I only paid for 1. I'm like, I have to send this thing back. So I asked them, how do I send it back? I need. This is a bit immature-ish, but I don't know how to send things back. Now I leave it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the point is. And so I'm like, please give me step-by-step instructions on how to send it back. And I got some vague thing, and I'm like, I wrote them, I don't own this thing, I didn't buy this thing, please, it's not my property, I need to send this back to you. I have no idea how to do what you just said, please give me step-by-step instructions. And they just wouldn't. I didn't know what to do with the stand, so I ended up with a second stand. I didn't pay for it, it sucked. I tried to return it, I tried calling them. Anyway, just a small point of customer service, you want to make it so it's so moronically clear a kindergartner could go and do the thing, and you take it all off their plate
Yeah.
so they don't have to do anything about it.
Take it off their plate. If you free things up off their plate, all the baggage, all the work, take the workload off their plate. Your life is easier, their life is easier, they love you, and the sale becomes easier. It's much easier to make. That's what people want. Ask yourself that. Think about it. Any sale, anything that you're doing. Wouldn't it be nice if somebody's out there thinking, God, how do I take care of this person? How do I remove the obstacles off their plate? How do I make sure that they're completely serviced, that they feel serviced, that they are serviced, that everything is just clear, the path is clear for them, right? It's a beautiful thing. Treat people like that. Take care of your customers. Take everything off your plate, and I promise it'll help you. It's going to help, it'll help the sale, and it'll help your own sort of brand equity and reputation. Okay, hope that helps. Make sure to hit the thumbs up if you like the episode, share it on social, and of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to the show. Okay, thanks.